want to share some interesting. If I could figure out how to put in links and stuff, um, it's difficult without a laptop or a good tablet. I have limited editing capability on my phone. It's a good phone, but it's been hacked a lot, and the operating system messed with. Um, but I'll try. But there's some groups that I encountered through I guess a LinkedIn associate who also has issues with the VA. Him or somebody related to him has had a ton of problems with the VA. A lot of targeting, and he's not mentally ill. He's ticked off. He's sick of being targeted, and I mean all kinds of stuff that they've done that legally they can't do. To take away a veteran's right to medical care, that's something very difficult to do. It's written right in U.S. code. That's very difficult to do, but the VA has tried with this veteran repeatedly, and it's got him involved in apparently this is God's calling for him, trying to empower, similar to what I'm doing, trying to empower people that are being targeted, people are trying to take away their rights, their autonomy, their ability to control their own health care, their own direction in life, their own finances, their own humanness, taking away their dignity in any way they can, totally without justification. And so there's, some of these groups, I guess this is apparently on the uptake. There's been a lot, I know at least in the past 5 years in Michigan, I can't say the past 5 years, I'll say 2017 through 2020, there was over a 200% increase in civil commitments in Michigan. And, this may be connected to the SORA statute issue, may also be connected to the Human Trafficking Task Force, but still, just because somebody was trafficked, I've said before, there's two different kinds of people who are trafficked. Actually, I take it back. There's like 4 different kinds. You have the people that chose it, and they aged out of doing it, whether it's dancing or, getting clients, massage, whatever. They aged out of it. Then you got people who are forcefully trafficked by family members. Many, many, many times it's by a boyfriend who loves me so much, we're just trying to make ends meet. The guy doesn't love them. Generally, he's trash. He's just a piece of trash. Who would do that to a woman or a man? Horrible human being. And they manipulate them. They manipulate them so much, so it's difficult for them to trust people anymore. And it's just, they really hurt people. These kind of people. Then you got people forcefully trafficked by kidnapping. Then you got people that are any one of the other 2, who are actually 3, who were I'm confusing myself here. You got the people who chose it. You got the people who were kind of begged into it or manipulated into it by family or friends or boyfriend. Many times it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And then you have the third kind, which was people that were forced into it. And then you got the fourth kind, which is people that are any of the other 3, and they started trafficking themselves. Correction, they started trafficking others by taking power over them. That's the fourth kind. And the fourth kind are the worst. And then you have, actually, I take that, I'll add one kind, the fifth kind. People that have never been involved in it, they don't care, but it's a way to make money, get something from other people because they take what they want from the people they traffic, and they traffic them because they don't care about other living things. That's the fifth kind. The fourth and the fifth are the worst kind of human beings. I've encountered them. They are the worst kind of human beings. And, then you have the people that aged out. Generally, they're very bitter and angry because they never got ahead. Now, all of these people require just incredibly massive amounts of therapy and recuperation and treatment and kind of, decluttering their brain from everything that they've encountered and deprogramming. And many times they don't get it. And committing them, maybe sometimes it's warranted, but I think it should be something very cautiously done. Taking away somebody's freedom and autonomy, taking away their dignity, taking away their control of their life, their finances, their medical care. When it comes to life or death and somebody else all of a sudden is making your choices, I think these things should be approached very slowly. Very slowly. And for people that have been in even the people that chose this, still there's a certain amount of victimization with that. And we're going to take away their hope at getting back their life by taking their life, taking their control of their life. I think it should be approached very slowly and very selectively and rarely. We should approach people who repeatedly criminalize their lives by victimizing people, approach them for this before we approach people that have been trafficked for this and to commit people. But anyway, so there's a lot of people that are wrongly committed and they get fooled into powers of attorney that basically are stepped up into guardianships and they don't even know. Just all kinds of stuff. People not telling people about their medical insurance. I encountered a guy at the dental clinic. He didn't really know a lot about it. And it sounds like somebody's trying to purposely keep him out of the loop. And then I know the call centers I've dealt with, like the call center that told me that they had to bill the VA first, and if the VA wouldn't pay for it, they wouldn't either. More victimization. That you can't force the VA to pay for something when a veteran, even if they are rated, you can't force the VA to pay for something. It's there's complications there too. Even if you're a rated veteran and you have TRICARE, you can't force them to pay for something because they have rules regarding their policy too. This is abusive behavior at a Meridian call center. Meridian's a good company. This is just their call center. Once again, found them all over the country since 2015. Call centers are popping up, especially regarding the VA and regarding insurance and regarding Obamacare and regarding different kinds of lots of different stuff, usually federal. And some of these call centers, they spin off, and some of these people, or people used to work in them, and they go off and they form their own LLC. Some of these call centers are horrible. They just repeatedly victimize people, repeatedly. and but nobody will look into it. And we have right here in Michigan, Vet Connect. Vet Connect is not connected to the VA. They're a spin-off call center. The VA call center is called VA Health Connect. They're not the same thing. VA Health Connect can be burdensome and bureaucratic, but at least it worked. Vet Connect, my experience, I've found a lot of the call center agents in Vet Connect, they will give, some of them will pretend they're doctors and nurses. Others, they won't help you at all because they don't know any medical terminology whatsoever. So they can't help you at all. So when they relay your information to your provider may or may not find it, informational. They may just be like, okay, so what? Because those MSAs and AMSAs, they don't know what you're talking about. And then I've found if you complain about one, others will target you. From when I worked at a call center for a year, I learned a lot of the people that I worked with, now they're in other call centers throughout the country. Believe it or not, I've seen names at various contacts, and I'm like, hey, I used to work with them. But, that could be good or bad. It depends on the person. But once you know how the system works, it's easy to spin off and become a 1099 contractor. Or, if you got the backing, make your own call center. If you're a veteran, you have good credit, you can get a loan, make your own business. And then you have preferential treatment for all federal contracts. And in some states, you'll also have preferential treatment as a veteran-owned business. But some of these people, they're just, again, really bad people. They will target people. When I worked at a call center, they used to gossip about people in Snapchat. And because all of the people that run IT, they're all friends, nobody did anything. But they would talk about people, they would target people. Anyway, yeah, so my point is that just have to be careful, in targeting of people. And helping them and in helping them find justice. Just have to be very cautious because you know how much damage is done. And when people are targeted to the point that, they can gain enough, when let's say their bullies can gain enough steam and enough backing, then they can target them to take away their freedom, take away their autonomy, hurt their families. I've seen this with Anonymous. I am not a fan of Anonymous at all. Most people ignore their dirty laundry. I'm somebody that I want to know the whole person, the whole organization, and some of the things that they've done to innocent people. This is not I've seen in different Facebook groups in Genesee County, some of the people in there talking about, the return of the Anon, good to see the Guy Fawkes mask. Well, I don't think it's so good because people within Anonymous have targeted people. It doesn't matter if somebody's an Anon or not. When you post where their kids go to school, that's criminal. That's predatory behavior. When you post where they live, when you post their IP address, again, criminal behavior, predatory behavior. When you post the names of their children and their teachers, criminal, predatory behavior. These are not hacktivists. These are not social justice warriors. Some of these people are just petty or felonious criminals. And when people target people to take away their freedom and their autonomy, whether legally by committing them or illegally by posting everything about their life, this has happened to me. Google regularly informs me what damage has happened each month. But this is what people do. This is criminal. This is predatory behavior. 9 times out of the 10 times that they post something in whatever site, it could be 4chan or it could be some other site, a new site, and they post things about people, 9 times out of 10, the people, the people they're posting about are not the problem. It's the ones doing the posting. This is America. We're not supposed to tolerate this kind of behavior. The days of Jim Crow and lynching, those days are done. The days of, supposed to be the days of bullying somebody. Oh, like somebody who's Israeli or Jewish or supports Israel, supports Judaism, and they're targeted on a college campus. These days are supposed to be done. The days of posting people's, where they work, their boss's name, their income, their address, their IP address, where their children go to school. This is not supposed to be happening either. I think we need to tighten up our belt, America, and start getting hard on crime again.